And just like that, the latest episode. Okay, I'm just going to recap briefly. You know, Carrie's living in this like $40 million Gramercy Park house, and she's got this pastoral garden in the back, just like every New Yorker has. And she's using it to write her old timey book that takes place in like the 1840s. Because now she's like truly losing her mind and she thinks she's like a Victorian era lady. And her lover is like not just like jerking off in a pickup somewhere in like the fields of Virginia, but I don't know, maybe he's off doing something of great import, that is causing him to be so far away from her. So she's writing and she's wearing like her $1,200 shoes, as one does. Just like, trust me, any real writer, you're in your most comfortable clothes because you don't want to think about how you feel. You want to be able to just have your head go where it's going to go. Anyway, a mound of rats come out, a mound of rats come out, a mound of rats come out. And of course, so this is another, I think Sarah Jessica Parker may have it in her contract that she's got to have at least 3 squeals per episode. I think she thinks it's adorable when she squeals. It is not, it is the exact opposite. And so apparently they were real rats, I guess. I guess these were not, AI rats. I guess we're still employing, animal extras, what have you. And so, there was this theory that came up in the last episode when we talked about the premiere, where I posited that Michael Patrick King may be that type of dangerous gay man who like actually really hates women. He pretends he's an ally, but he really hates women. Now, I think I'm right. And I think you troublemakers who think the same are right too. Listen to Sarah Jessica Parker talk about that scene.
Yeah, I never had rats in the apartment, but we do live in New York, and I am genuinely, that is not why Michael Patrick wrote that, but I really am very, very, very scared of rats.
So, I mean, I think if I were, I'm a prosecutor in my mind, that would be exhibit A. He's fucking with her. He's trolling her. Secondly, so Aiden shows up out of the blue in Carrie's house and she turns around to see him standing there and she screams, again, another shriek. But like this is treated in the show as a very cute, romantic gesture. I assure you it is not. And this is the kind of stuff that infects the culture and infects the way women are talked to by men about what they should deem appropriate. I don't care if this guy is your fiance or your husband, like showing up in a house without announcing yourself so that you as a woman are taken aback by the sight of a man who is twice your size, who is suddenly in your house is terrifying. That is not a romantic gesture. Okay, so then they have their moment together and then they sit in Carrie's extremely tiny kitchen. None of this makes any sense. And she's got this little tiny half table that's like affixed to the wall. Like, again, we're just like an 800-year-old woman in our tiny Victorian kitchen, and she's got like a piece of toast on the windowsill, and she's just so dainty. And Aiden is telling her the rules of engagement for her texting him. Okay, so this is Sarah Jessica Parker in The Guardian. I think this just came out this weekend. Oh, my favorite headline. I'm just going to hold it up. I've been crucified, Sarah Jessica Parker. I've been crucified. Okay. Here she's talking about, every time there's a new season, they talk all this garbage about how these women are just like, it's a new chapter and they're so winning and like it's so exciting to see them embark on these new things, and like there's never any specifics. It's like Hoda Kotb. There's never any specifics because there's zero plot happening here. It's a bunch of actresses who get to dress up in $10,000 worth of clothing, shoes, and handbags and pretend to live in these lavish apartments and be dealing with all of these men who are just falling all over their feet. It is like fantasy land for underdeveloped actresses, I think, like emotionally, psychologically stunted actresses. Okay. So this is Sarah Jessica Parker in The Guardian about why she's so excited about the relationship with Aiden. Quote, I was excited about the way the would sort itself out because there's a new maturity to both parties. Not so. This is not what is on display in your show. A guy who, as discussed in the premiere, who booty calls you in the middle of the night after saying you cannot talk for 5 years and says, I need to get my rocks off, but I miss you, but let's have phone sex. And then we see him lick his palm, jam his hands down his pants, and then tell her that he, quote unquote, I can't even get the words out. He sharded a little bit. And she's saying this is a grand romance for the ages. Okay, this is how out of touch she is. Parker says that she was, quote, shocked to discover that the character of Che Diaz was so widely reviled. And you know why she's shocked? Because she doesn't pay attention to any of the publicity surrounding this show. Sure. We are also introduced to a new word in the lexicon. Brace yourselves, you guys. Hetero pessimism. Not going to describe it. I think it's a garbage word. She also says that, so the crucifixion rather, I was raised Catholic, I should know better. The crucifixion of one Carrie Bradshaw. I would like to ask any of you artists out there who work in mixed materials, it's a nerve challenge. I would love for someone to come up with a Carrie Bradshaw nailed to the cross. I dare you. I know someone out there can do it. We're creating sort of a little bit of an art thing happening here. We'll clue you in later. Okay. Now, so she believes blamed vis-a-vis Sex in the City for imparting this idea that, like, if you're young, creative, you want to have a glamorous life, just move to New York and everything's cool. And she's saying, she's not going to take the blame for that, but she really laments how it's, quote, beyond a concern, New York has become impossible for artists, whether ballet dancers, photographers, whomever. We haven't had the kind of political support in our city to really be smart and innovative about affordable housing. Okay, this is a woman who, within the past few years, put one of her 3 townhouses on the market. Okay, these townhouses in Greenwich Village are extremely covetable. They're coveted. They are rare. They are multi-million dollars, just cost of entry, 12 million. She and her husband, Matthew Broderick, have 2 side-by-side townhouses. I believe they still do. They did at one point anyway, which is really weird. And then she had a 3rd townhouse. And when I tell you what this was used for, I mean, the nerve. She used that townhouse as her closet, okay? Her closet. And then when she put it up for sale, the Robb Report ran a huge story about how she used this multi-level townhouse as her freaking closet. So she wants the taxpayers of New York City, who are already overly burdened, to figure out a way to foot the cost for young creatives to live here. I don't know, Sarah Jessica, maybe you could put up some of those like strivers, hustlers that you love in, one of your empty townhouses. Okay.